that good? Can you hear me? Hi, good. How are you? Vicky? Oh, okay. Um, so, good evening, everybody. You all know me. I am Meredith Turner, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as the Social Action Chair for the Greater Cleveland Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Oh, I love y'all. My president, Melanie Frazier, we are actually having an executive committee tonight, so she is not able to be here, but I wanted to extend greetings on behalf of my president. To all the presidents and leaders in the room, thank you for allowing me to continue to work with you to serve our community. So tonight we are formally informal, so we're just gonna get to the business. I'm gonna bring up the president of MPHC, Vicki Pruitt Sorrells, for the invocation.
Good evening. Won't you join with me in a word of prayer? Gracious and Heavenly Father, we are thankful for your presence, thankful for who you are. We're thankful that you are a redeemer. We're thankful that you are a protector. We're thankful that you are the emancipator. We're thankful that you are the liberator. We're thankful that you got us up this morning. We're thankful that you get us in our right mind. You're thankful that we put our feet on the ground. We're thankful, Father, that you were able to get us on our way. And in doing so, Father, you said, I need you to go with my purpose in your heart. So, Father, right now, we just ask and come to you with our hearts and minds with the fullness of your true liberation for that of peace and justice. We ask, Father, that as we sit and listen tonight, that you allow our hearts and minds to not only open, but also to go out and spread the good news of our Lord, our Savior, Jesus Christ, but also of the justice of a right God. We ask also, Father, that as we are here tonight as those who are hearing and educating, that you also put a blessing upon those who have come to you in the right way, those who have come for the service of people, those who have come to do their way, doing their way of loving thy neighbor. So, Father, bless the conversation. Let it be one that is civil but yet understanding. Let it be the one that also asks questions so the voice can be heard of those of the voiceless. Let our minds understand and be in the presence of those who are marginalized. And then, Father, as we cross back into the threshold of the world, let us be on the good foot, knowing who you are and representing you well. We thank you, Father, and in your name we say, amen.
I want to thank the shepherd of this church, Reverend C.J. Matthews, for continuing to be a great partner for us to host these very relevant conversations. And in gratitude, from Cuyahoga County District 9, I am going to gift you a grant of $10,000 to get that ramp out there redone, okay? So thank you. At this time, I'm gonna ask for all of our presidents, basilisks, promarchs, or representatives to come forward and bring greetings on behalf of your organization in alpha order, no pun intended.
Good evening. My name is Christopher Murray, and I'm the president of the Delta Alpha Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I don't want to belabor the point because I know there are things that we need to learn tonight about the issues and the candidates before us. So I just wanted to say how proud I am that I'm in a room full of people that need to know what they need to know and are not afraid to come get the information. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic to my sisters.
Good evening. I'm Heather Beasley, president of Lambda Phi Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I'm excited to see so many people in the room this evening. Voting is a crucial endeavor, and assembling here today shows that we are all dedicated to ensuring that our community understands its power and remaining thoroughly informed. Thank you all for being here.
Good evening. My name is Marcia Morrell Smith, and I am the president of Alpha Omega of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. And I know all of you in here know that we are in serious, troubling times. And it is so important that we turn out for this election, and not only turn out, bring at least 4 people, commit 4 people to go to the polls and vote. So thank you for being here, and go vote.
Good evening. My name is Jermaine Brooks, poll marker at the Greater Cleveland Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Just one quick word. Let us remember our vote is not just our right. It is our power. Power to shape the policies that affect our families, power to elect leaders who represent our interests, and power to influence the future of our nation. Let's go vote.
Good evening. My name is Pam Mason. I bring you greetings from the National Congress of Black Women. I am the financial secretary. Our legislative person, her back went out on her today. I have a real simple message. Get out and vote. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring strangers, bring your enemies. Just bring them out to bring them all out to vote. This is a very, as we say, this is a historical election, and we need everybody to get out and vote. Thank you so much.
It's hard to follow Ms. Pam ever. So thank you. I'm Will Tarter. I am the chair of social action for Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated Gamma Alpha Sigma chapter. I bring greetings on behalf of our president, Jonathan Wilson. I also am the first vice president of the Cleveland branch NAACP. And I want to thank everyone for being here because educating ourselves is so important. I use this acronym called SERVE, which stands for Study, Educate, Register, Vote, and Engage. And what I want to urge everyone tonight is to not stop civic engagement on Election Day. Civic engagement continues after Election Day. That's the budgets, the policies, the programs. That is just as important as Election Day itself. So thank you all for being here, and let's continue to stay engaged even after Election Day. Thank you.
Greetings, my name is Shawana Brown. I am president of Gamma Delta Zeta chapter, Cleveland, Ohio.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wendy Horn, and I represent Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Gamma Alpha Kappa Zeta chapter. And on behalf of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, we would like to first thank you for welcoming us here this evening. And we just want to say we know that this is a very important election. No need to continue to beat that dead horse with the stick. However, this is a historical moment, as everybody said before, and so we're just so grateful for the opportunity to come here this evening and to convene, to have ask the questions, to be engaged in the conversations, and to get the ball rolling. It doesn't just start here, and it definitely doesn't stop here. So we know that we have to take this message out into the streets, into our churches, to our homes, to our schools, jobs, and everywhere. So again, we just thank you for the opportunity, and I definitely hope that we come out of here this evening feeling better about our communities and the people who are here to serve us. Thank you again.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anita Laster Mays, and I'm the president or the bacillus of the Alpha Lambda Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I wanted to welcome you all here. I always think about, my father was born in 1927 in Birmingham, Alabama, and he used to talk about the struggles that he had there. If you look on TV, you would have saw, or I know that I've seen, because he pointed them out, some of his relatives being hosed down and things of that nature down in Birmingham just for basic rights. And that's what we're fighting for today. You see how laws have changed about how many people can drop a ballot in the box and things of that nature. So you know your vote is important if someone is trying to take it from you. And so we have to get out and vote. And just as everyone said, take a friend, take, anybody you can, because we have power in our vote. And I just want to again thank you for coming out to be an educated group so that you can explain it to others. So thank you.
My name is Rufus Hurd of Omega Psi Phi. I bring you greetings from my bossless, Herb Jones. He's not here tonight, so I'm stepping in his place. So I'm just telling you this, 21 days. 21 days until we have to get out there and do our thing. So let's do it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stevie Turner, and I'm representing the Links Incorporated, the Western Reserve chapter here in Cleveland. And I'd like to thank County Councilwoman Meredith Turner for inviting us to be a part of this. So the thing that I have to say is right now we're in phase 2, and phase 2 means you plan your vote. So I voted on Friday. I went and, got my ballot, my sample ballot, marked everybody, did my research. So I just urge each and every one of you to do the same. And as everyone has said, take a friend, get your family, get everybody involved, because this is a very important election. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. We can do it better than that. Good evening, everyone. This is what church is about. We mobilize, strategize, and we then take action on what it is that needs to get taken care of. So good evening, everyone. We can't be excited about voting if we're quiet in here, right? My name is Orlando Grenton. I'm a representative of the Beta Lambda Omega chapter of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. I stand here proud and excited about the possibilities of what can be. But what can be will not be if we don't do our part in what should be. We have control of what we can do, what we will do, and what we will do is we will get out and vote. We will engage our neighbors, our family, friends, and loved ones to take action. We can all go into the voters booth. We can be a millionaire. We can be someone in poverty. We can be black, white, or in between. But that one vote is going to make us all equal. But if we make ourselves equal with that one vote, we got to make sure that we remain engaged and we vote for the things that are for us. Remember, there are things and there's forces out here that are threatening our existence. That want to take us back to the civil rights movement, want to take us back to times when we didn't have the rights that we take for granted today. So I encourage you, because we're just preaching to the choir. We're all going to be out. 99% of us is going to vote in this room. But we need to talk to the ones that are on the fringes, on the sidelines. Let's get engaged, not just today, not just tomorrow, but also next year when there's not a presidential election, and the years when we have city council, and when we have Cuyahoga County Council. Let's stay engaged, not in just big moments, but let's stay engaged in all moments. Thank you very much.
My name is Lillian Sherrod, and I am the first Vice President of Programs for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. And I bring you greetings on behalf of our President, Dion Jones. Our group advocates on behalf of African American women and children in the areas of economic empowerment, health, and education under the umbrella of public policy. So it's all been said already. We just need to encourage others, to get out and vote, because we won't go back.
Greetings. I am Monica McClellan, President of the Cleveland section of National Council of Negro Women. We are always grateful to have a seat at the table so that we can be trusted messengers for all of us. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Kiana Tidmore, standing here representing Jack and Jill of America Incorporated, Erie Shores chapter. As the new legislative chair of our chapter, I was so excited that our National Executive Board rolled out a pink and blue agenda. So for the month of October, this is our voter mobilization month. Children is a nonpartisan issue. Most of us have lived our lives, but this election can impact our children, our grandchildren, our great-great-grandchildren. So I am so excited to be in the room as an advocate for children. It's our first event, but it won't be our last. Thank you.
So as you can see, our coalition continues to grow. I already brought greetings on behalf of my president, but I wanted to share an email that she sent to me right before I got here, and I think it's indicative of what we mean to our community. We're here with our colors and our letters, but we put the unity in community, and people look up to us, and I know that you know that, but here's an email that we received. This person says that they were writing to express their appreciation for the YouTube videos your organization has provided regarding candidates and issues. These videos offer a valuable platform for candidates to introduce themselves and communicate their positions, while allowing voters like me the opportunity to hear directly from them without the distractions of typical campaign noise. In a swing state like Ohio, where political messaging often overwhelms voters, your videos offer a refreshing and neutral space. It allows us to focus on the candidates' views and their responses to critical issues, which is essential for informed decision-making. I deeply value the clarity and transparency that your platform provides. Thank you for creating such a meaningful resource. Your efforts contribute significantly to a more informed and engaged electorate. With gratitude, said person. And then she says, I am a writer. What is your superpower? So I challenge everyone in this room to find what your superpower is. Some days I wake up and I know what it is. I think maybe organizing sometimes. I love my people, that's a superpower. But I challenge each of you to figure out what it is you're good at and how you can replicate that. Orlando, really, I'm super excited, but I'm tired, and I know you all are as well. So without further ado, we're just gonna get right to this program. We have a couple of candidates who they've been campaigning for a few years now, and they have multiple events to go to tonight. So we're gonna start with Judge Cassandra Collier Williams, and then followed by her, Judge Michelle Sheehan.
Good evening, everyone. It is both a pleasure and an honor to be before you today. And I serve you on the Court of Common Pleas, General Division. And you elected me initially in 2012. You re-elected me in 2018. And once again, I'm asking for your support and your vote in 2024. A little bit about me. I am the co-chair of the Ohio Black Judges Association. That's a new organization that we formed. We've been in existence now for about 4 years, 3 or 4 years. And I can tell you that we are making a difference for our black judges and magistrates throughout the state. I am also the chair of the Lawyers Fund for Client Protection, which is a fund from the Supreme Court that protects clients who are, for a lack of a better word, who are bilked out of their money by their lawyers. That's a very important fund, and this past year I think we paid out over $1 million to people who had lost money from their attorney. I am also the co-chair on the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association Bar Review Committee. So we actually test and do the, the ethics interview for those persons who wish to sit for the bar. But most importantly, sorry about that, most importantly, I am here to encourage each and every one of you to vote. It's so important. And not just vote for the president and the vice president and the congressperson, but you have to go all the way down that ballot, because you're more likely to see me than you are to see the president of the United States. You know, judges are critical. And it seems to me oftentimes people don't know anything about the judges. But we are so critical in your life. We can determine whether you're free or whether you're incarcerated. We can determine in some instances whether you live or whether you die. We can determine whether you are paying out money or you are receiving money. Our positions are important. And you know, a lot of you don't get downtown. You don't get downtown, so you don't see us. So when it comes to around election time and someone comes and smiles, you think, okay, that sounds good. That looks good. We'll do that. But I challenge you to look at all of your candidates. I challenge you to look at me. Because what I will tell you is that I work very hard to be fair and impartial. I work very hard to make sure that we are represented. I'm on a bench where there's 34 judges. And when I got on that bench in 2012, I was just the fourth in the history of the court to be the fourth black female ever to be elected. I was number 4. Think about that. 2012, I'm just number 4. Since that time, we've had a few more elected, and I'm proud that this year we have a number of people who are seeking your vote to get on that bench. I was just the second African-American, male or female, to be elected without having first been appointed by the governor or having served on a different bench. So you understand that we need diversity on that bench. You know, like I said, I'm speaking to the choir. Y'all know that. But you got to tell your friends, you got to tell people that we have to be represented. Because it's so important when a defendant comes before me to see me as opposed to seeing someone who may not quite understand where they've been, how they've been, and how they got before me. It's important. In my courtroom, if you go in there, you'll see a picture of Obama in there. I want you to know that when I first got on the bench in 2012 and I put that picture up, and you would have thought I put up the picture of Hitler. It went through the courthouse like fire. I got a bar complaint out of it. Oh my gosh, she need to take that picture down. And you know what I told them? No! I'm not taking it down. The only person who will make me take that picture down will be the Supreme Court. And when they took their bar complaint, the Supreme Court said she can put any picture she wants up in her courtroom. I am a fighter, and I believe in doing the right thing. I believe in being fair to people, because I know in front of me is somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's brother, somebody's loved one is in front of me. And I will treat them with compassion. I will treat them with fairness. And you won't ever see me cursing a defendant out, yelling and screaming at a defendant. I don't do that. I believe in being respectful at all times. It's important. It's important. I encourage you to come down to the Justice Center. Come down to see me. You know, sometimes all you do is say, let me just spend a day. Let me just watch. Then you can see how people interact with people. I'm in the penthouse, 23A. It's open. Come see me anytime you want to come. and I thank you. So please don't forget who I am, Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams, and I'm on the ballot. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Judge Michelle J. Sheehan. I've been doing this long enough to know what it's like to follow Judge Cassandra Collier-Williams. You were all kind enough to elect me 6 years ago, and I am back. While I'm unopposed, I'm still here requesting your vote. I know how hard it is to get information about candidates, so thank you for being here. I have 3 children of my own, one in New York, one in Michigan, and one in Cleveland. And our rule is you don't come home unless you're registered and you voted. And I know all those candidates in all those states because I've sat down and helped them, so thank you. Just a little bit about me by way of background. I practiced law 25 years of litigation before I ran 6 years ago. I've been on the bench, like I said, for 6 years. Like my colleague, where's Judge Anita Lester-Mays, we've drafted over hundreds of opinions and been part of thousands of opinions, being fair and impartial in each one. But if you want to know my real superpower, when I first took the bench, I am really big on mentorship. So I started a mentorship program. I'm a first-generation college and law student. No one in my family has gone. So I try to mentor those kids to bring the next generation along so that we can expose them to the field of law, to expose them to careers they may not know about. So if you know anyone in your family that's interested, reach out to the councilwoman, reach out to me. I'm happy to take them through the summer, through the semester. I've mentored over 100 students already. So that's a little bit about me. I just want to say thank you again for being here. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, but thank you very much, and I hope I earned your support for this November.
Do we have representatives from any of our Supreme Court justices? If you could come forward at this time. And I'm sorry I did not say. 3 minutes is your time.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, church family, National Panhandle, and elected officials. My name is Monica Gibson. I'm here this evening on behalf of Justice Melody J. Stewart. Justice Stewart. I always get a little bit nervous because of the reverence and the respect that I have for Justice Stewart. Early on in my career, I interviewed for a position that I didn't get, but I knew that I would ultimately work for her. So I know as a person of faith, that God has a mysterious way of doing things, and it's His time, not my time. So I'm not getting paid for this, but indeed I am working for her, coming out tonight and speaking on her behalf. A bit about the candidate. Justice Stewart, I've already stated that I have a respect for her because of her leadership and her intellect. She's a native of Cleveland, Ohio, and a child of the Glenville area. She was educated in Ohio and also taught at her alma mater at Cleveland State University. She served on the appellate bench for the 8th District Court, and she was elected to the Ohio Supreme Court in 2018. She has stated to me, and in her literature, she says that she does not legislate from the bench. And because of her legal acumen, she'll render a fair and just decision. So what does that actually mean? We know that on the ballot this election year or election cycle, gerrymandering is on the ballot. What that simply means is how we vote, they divide it up in districts. So 7 maps were presented to the Ohio Supreme Court, and Justice Stewart ruled in favor with the majority that the maps were unconstitutional. This, we know, is issue 1 on the ballot this year. So we must vote yes so that we can have an amendment to ensure that what is decided at the ballot box in terms of RFOR and those maps being unconstitutional, that's maintained by the Ohio Supreme Court, which they've already done. Another issue that is of concern to Ohio voters is the reproductive rights. She'll uphold the law and the Ohio Constitution. Currently, because of voters, we know that women can make the decision with their physicians about their reproduction. As long as this is the law, Justice Stewart will uphold it. I'll also note that she has been endorsed by Planned Parenthood. She maintains that she is neither anti or pro anything, but on the side of the law. She is for the will of the people at the ballot box, and she will uphold the law. A word about her opponent, Dieters. He's a career prosecutor. Prior to being appointed by Mike DeWine, or Governor DeWine, he had no judicial experience. He is running on less than a year of experience on the bench, while his opponent has earned the responsibility to teach at her alma mater, Cleveland State. She served as a judge on the appellate bench, and she was the first elected Black female to the Ohio Supreme Court. I value experience, intellect, and fairness when it comes to the law. Please do the same at the ballot box on November 5th. Thank you.
All right, so first off, I want to thank you all for your time, taking the initiative to get out here to learn about the issues and the candidates. And, I know it's a Monday night, not everybody's doing something, but being informed and being engaged citizens, this is the most important thing that you can do. So I'm going to introduce myself really quickly. My name's Grant Wheelock. I am a student at John Carroll University, part of the team that is working to keep Justice Donnelly on the Ohio Supreme Court, along with Justice Melody Stewart and electing Judge Lisa Forbes. And I'm here to tell you why you should be on that team too. For starters, Justice Donnelly has a long history of defending the law and justice, going back to his time as an assistant prosecutor in Cuyahoga County. Since then, he has served in a wide number of positions, ranging from overseeing cases involving defendants who suffered from mental illness during his time on the Court of Common Pleas, to fighting for common sense law over the past 6 years of his term on the Ohio Supreme Court. Some examples of this include protecting the rights of union members, pushing back on attempts to gerrymander the state, and more recently, arguing in favor of the commonly held belief that boneless chicken wings should in fact be boneless. Since I began working with Justice Donnelly, he has continually demonstrated to me his commitment to an independent judiciary and the idea that we live in a nation of laws, not of men. His commitment to impartiality and judicial integrity is well known, both on and off the bench, and was just one reason why he was invited to be one of 2 Ohio judges who participated in the National Judicial College's leadership program. As a last point, I want to highlight Justice Donnelly's efforts to improve the legal system in Ohio, especially his push for sentencing reform. The Justice is one of the strongest voices in support of a statewide sentencing database, which would use data analytics and modern technologies in order to promote a more equitable sentencing process and to help close the justice gap in Ohio. Thank you so much for your time again, and remember, vote Donnelly, Stewart, and Forbes for Ohio Supreme Court on November 5th.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Dr. Cheryl Lindsay. I'm co-chair of the Social Action Committee of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Greater Cleveland Alumni Chapter. But I'm here tonight actually representing the League of Women Voters and Fair Districts. And I'm here to talk about issue 1 and encourage you not only to vote yes, but to dispel some of the myths that are out there about it. Some of you know, and fortunately, our candidate who supported Justice Stewart shared a little bit already about why you should vote for it, but many of you may know that the ballot language is deceptive. So it's really important to let people know that what they read on the ballot is not the actual amendment. So let me tell you what the amendment actually will do. It will appoint a citizen-comprised commission that will be responsible for drawing the maps. It will be comprised with equal representation of Democrats, Independents, and Republicans. It will be an open and transparent process that will enable citizens to choose their politicians rather than politicians choosing citizens. And the impact of that, the impact of gerrymandering in Ohio, one of the most gerrymandered states in the country, is voter suppression, less voter engagement, less voter turnout, because people realize that their votes are diluted so they don't go out to vote. So one of the ways that we can help turn the tide on that is by voting yes on issue 1 and getting the word out that the language on the ballot is not the same as the actual amendment. This will hold politicians accountable. They'll be removed, as well as lobbyists, from the redistricting process. And it impacts every single aspect of our lives. And these maps are the national maps for Congress, as well as our state legislature. So if you want politicians to set an agenda based on their desire for power, then maybe you're okay with the status quo. But if you want the agenda to be set by citizens and politicians to be held accountable to the people who elect them, not special interests, not their donors, not lobbyists, then please vote yes on issue 1 to ban gerrymandering once and for all. Third time's the charm here in Ohio. Thank you.
So just for the record, we did invite the no on issue 1, but they didn't show up. Okay, do we have any representatives from any of our federal offices, U.S. Senate, U.S. Congress? Okay, any other state candidates, state rep? Upchurch, I think I saw you. You come on up. Any other State House representatives? Okay, Representative Terrence Upchurch, President of the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay, once again, my name is Terrence Upchurch. I'm the state representative for the 20th House District. I serve as the president of the Ohio Legislative Black Caucus, and I am a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. The same fraternity that gave you Louis Stokes, Carl Stokes, Mike White. We continue to breed leaders, obviously. But no, on a serious note, I want to thank you all for coming out because this election is very important. We have a lot of things on the ballot that will impact the quality of life for people that look like us from neighborhoods like the ones that we are all from. And I encourage all of you to vote yes on issue 1. The young lady did a fantastic job describing what will be on the ballot. I sit on the ballot board, so I saw firsthand what our Secretary of State, our Secretary of State, Frank LaRose did. And there's a lot of myths about issue 1. They claim that it's going to dilute black representation. Now, it's just funny, all of a sudden, there's this overwhelming care for black representation in the legislature. I've been a black man for 35 years. I've been in the legislature for 6 of those 35 years. They haven't cared about black representation then, and they don't care about it now. For them, issue 1 is the last chopper out of Saigon, and that's why we have to pass it. The kingdom will come down once we pass issue 1, and then we will get more of a balance. This isn't about Democrats taking control of the House or the Senate. This is about creating a fair playing ground and having balance in our legislature so our legislature reflects what the state of Ohio looks like. Thank you. How am I on time? Okay, a little bit about myself. Like I said, I've been in the legislature for 6 years. I serve as ranking member on the Economic and Workforce Development Committee. One of my biggest initiatives that I've been pushing since I've been in the legislature is workforce development. I've had the opportunity to go across this district for the past 6 years and speak to young people. And not all of our young people desire to go to college, and that's fine. But I believe that we should create an environment where they can segue from high school to an apprenticeship to a career, not a job, a career. You all know that gone are the days where you can go work at Ford, GM, and Chrysler and make a living and take care of your kids and your grandkids. But there are jobs, manufacturing, healthcare, there are jobs, but we have to do our part as a legislature to make sure we're training our young people so they can transition into these careers and be productive citizens. That's the first thing. Second thing, I have been an active voice, along with my colleagues in the Black Caucus, fighting against the harmful gun legislation that has come out of the legislature. Ohio is an open carry state. Ohio is a stand your ground state. And for those of you that aren't familiar with stand your ground, that is the law that George Zimmerman's attorneys used as a loophole to get him off the hook for killing Trayvon Martin. That can happen here. That can happen to any of our young black men in this city. This is why it's important that we pass issue 1, because all of these issues coincide with one another. You follow me? So we have to make sure that we don't just vote, that we talk to our neighbors, our coworkers, those we worship with, and our family, and tell them that we can't afford to go back, because when we vote, we win. Thank you very much.
We had a candidate for state school board. All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and I'd like to thank County Councilwoman Meredith Turner, Divine Nines, as well as other organizations here that helped to get this started. My name is Dolores Gray Ford, and I am running for the 11th District for the State Board of Education. And I have over 20 years of valuable experience. I'm an educator, an advocate, and a social activist. At this present time, I am the president of the Carl Stoke Brigade. This is a historical organization that helped to get people also in office as well, and to fight for social justice. And my proud moment here to run for the State Board of Education is that I am working for our children. I am working for our teachers. I am working for our communities. Because when our public schools do not win, our communities do not win. It's very important that the State Board of Education be in those rooms to make sure that all are created equal and with, impartial. And with that said, being a social worker as well, I have worked with families that are working. They're working people, they have children that have issues, and they have situations that are going on. These things are needed in the schools as well. Dealing with the gun violence, all these things play a big, huge role in our school system. So education is very important, along with the gun violence, ending that, along with children getting better services. The curriculum needs to change as well. Now, I do know that as a state board representative, that we're not going to be working with policy, but we still have a voice. And my plan is to make sure that I speak with teachers and work with teachers and families, and making sure that we know what's going on around in our community with the 11th District. And just so, my whole situation here, I think about being a community activist. And I am a fighter. And I fight for people every single day. And with my education, and also I failed to mention this, I am a minister in training as well. I'm the chaplain of the National Congress of Black Women, and I'm proud to say that. And we work hard to make a difference in children's life. And one of my mottos that I say is from Shirley Chisholm. And she stated, if they don't give you a seat at the table, you bring a folding chair. And that's what I plan to do as your state representative for the Board of Education. Thank you.
Sticking with our education theme, Mr. Anthony Brown, issue 49.
Well, hello, everybody. Oh, y'all could do better than that. Come on, somebody. I'm just saying. This is my stall type, so I can find my notes. So don't start the clock. Y'all see what I'm doing, right? Y'all know, y'all see it. Don't start the clock until I start talking. I was like, I wrote some notes here. All right, hey, all right. Listen, good evening, everybody. I am Anthony Brown. So glad to be here with all my Divine Nine family. Yes, I'm here for it. Now listen, thank you for all being here today, and I am here to talk about the defining moment in Cleveland's future. Now listen, the Cleveland Metropolitan School District has come so far, and for the first time in history, CMSD has reached a 3-star rating on the state report card. Yes. And we're seeing higher graduation rates. We are seeing improved student test scores. We are seeing more students prepare for college and careers and beyond. But the progress doesn't stop here. And it's up to those residents who live in Cleveland to help us to continue to make this and protect this. And here's what Issue 49 can do. It will help us keep advancing our students for reading, writing, and math skills. Now, this isn't just about the test. It's about preparing every scholar for the fundamental tools that they need. Now, I know I got some educators in the room, so you can come on and say amen. All right, come on. We recognize that mental health services, well, mental health is real, first of all. But the mental health services for our student support, for our families, resources are essential for the well-being of our students and their families. Now, Issue 49 will make sure that these services remain strong because we all know that students need to learn best when they feel supported, they feel loved, they feel heard, they feel safe. Issue 49 will continue to paving the way for children's youth, keep them off the streets, keep them off the streets. A parent called the other day like, well, why can't my child stay after school? I said, I got 2 words for you, budget cuts. We don't have the after school program like we used to have. So we had to do something. So it's already, we've done our part. CMSD, we're doing our part. But if we can't get the help of Cleveland, we may have to make some more cuts. But now, with that, giving them by keep paving the way, our youth, we're going to give them the skills and the preparation they need to enter good-paying jobs in fast-growing fields. Now, Issue 49 provide resources to keep our schools safe, secure, and well-maintained. It's about protecting our students at all costs so they can thrive and not just survive. But let's talk about on the other side, the stakes. If we don't pass Issue 49, we are subject to lose nearly $100 million in cuts. Those are resources for students that they need for their programming and to help our children thrive. We are subject to lose 700 educators. I didn't just say teachers, educators. The teacher, the paraprofessional, the administrator, the lunch aide, the bus driver. We all are at risk. We are going to be forced to reduce critical support services, mental health support services. We may lose it all. Issue 49 is about choosing hope. It's about choosing progress. It's about making sure that every child in Cleveland has a chance to succeed. All right, here I go. This is our community, our children, our future. We have the power to make a lasting difference, but the time is now. Thank you for being here, and together we can choose hope for our future.
We have State Representative Juanita Brent representing herself as well as the coordinated campaign.
Hi, everyone. My name is Juanita O'Brien. I just happen to be a state representative, and I'm also the vice chair of the Cuyahoga County Democratic Party, so I am representing a lot of folks right about now. So I'm going to keep you for a good time, not a long time. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Bless him. So I'm in my 3rd term at the State House, and I really do love what I do. The reason why I'm continuing to fight at the State House and why I'm running, because we know we have to fight for public school education. Even though we have this issue on the ballot right now in Cleveland, if the funding is not fair for our school district, no matter where you live in the state of Ohio, it's not going to work. And we're seeing time and time again, no shade to my brother in the back, a lot of these school levies are not passing because the state is not doing their part. The state is not doing their part when it comes to property tax. That's why we see everybody's property tax is going up. But the state of Ohio is in a surplus. So as I go back into my next term, it's me also fighting that we use our surplus to take care of your property tax. When we left at the beginning of the summer, we didn't leave finishing our jobs. But you guys came home to your property tax going up. If we lived in Texas right now, they use their surplus to take care of the property tax. We left the surplus to do nothing. So I'm going back to use your money and your money and your money, and even if you didn't pay taxes, your mama's money, to go deal with these property tax within itself. I'm also going back because I want to continue fighting for reproductive justice and maternal health. And within this time period, I've been able to bring home millions of dollars, no matter if it's Birth and Beautiful Communities or Queen Cities, which is in Cincinnati, multiple places that provide maternal health and make sure we deal with infant mortality within our district, because we are ground zero for that problem within our state. And also making sure that we fight for gun reform. We are a constitutional carry state. Even to this day, you can bring a gun right here in church and the pastor couldn't say something. He might say something, but he couldn't really do nothing because we are a constitutional carry state. And we have to get to the point where we have to address that people do want to carry guns, but we also have to have background checks. We also have to have red flag laws that we address here within the state of Ohio. So I'm fighting for that too. I also introduced the Crown Act, which passed in the House. Because just like many people in this room, I wear my hair in this natural state. I wear it in braids, I wear it in locks, and I wear it in this, and I wear it in that. I'm wearing everything else, probably but straight, because being straight is hard. It's hard. And so as I introduce legislation to make laws, I'm also introducing the pet tax rental credit, because we have such an increase of people who are renting their homes, but they want to bring their pets with them. And we need to make sure that as people dealing with their mental health, they can also keep their pets with them and they don't have to pay a fee to live in their apartment. That passed out of committee too. So I'm not just working, I'm doing. So that's for me as a state representative. Please consider voting for me. If you live in Shaker, Cleveland Heights, Orange, Woodmere, North Randall, Highland Hills, Warrensville Heights, East Cleveland, and parts of Cleveland Ward 1. If you don't live in those other parts, then you need to probably go talk to one of the other state reps. So with the coordinated campaign, we are working hard. This is how hard I know we're working. I'm late here because I was cutting turf so we can go canvas. Any places here in Cuyahoga County, we are opening up offices. We are passing out our sample ballot. We are making sure that you know that Democrats up and down the ticket are working hard for you. If you are seeing, who's been seeing those Harris wall signs? Now, I'm gonna let you into a secret. Every one of them Harris wall signs, I done picked up the box out of the truck to bring it to you. I'm not joking. 17,000 yard signs for Harris Walls we have in this county. 17,000 signs. We're getting some more signs because we're making sure that we are communicating. No one left you behind. Now, I don't care what they keep telling you in propaganda. We did not leave you behind. The Harris Walls campaign did not leave you behind. We put 17,000 signs, and most of them came to your areas for free. Same thing with Sherrod. This is the first place in the state that Sherrod Brown, our U.S. Senator, made sure that he brought signs to this area. He brought 10,000 yard signs to this area. I was lifting every box. That's how I know how many it is. My arms ain't getting that much bigger, but, you know, we're going to work on that. But we are working hard. We're getting that information out. We are paying canvassers good money, $25 an hour, to get people out there in your communities. We're having phone banks. We're doing text banks. We're doing postcards. We are doing the work of getting it out there. You probably received a sample ballot in your home. Who got a sample ballot from the Democratic Party? If you didn't get one, we're going to talk afterwards. We're going to find out what happened. But wherever you are, we are meeting where you're at. We come to your churches. We come to your black clubs. We got organizers. I think Mr. Nix is in here. We got one of our organizers in here. And we're just doing the work because we are fighting for you. And as I wrap up, because I'm keeping you for a good time, not a long time, just remember this. Our U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown is the one who authorized racism as a public health crisis on a federal level. Just remember that. He's also the person who made sure that he was a sponsor of the bill that made sure that your insulin was $35. It's too many of us who have those white patches on the back because it's kept checking up with our insulin. That's what U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown did. So as we think about like what is the person doing, he's doing the work. And if I ever had one complaint about the senator, and I'm gonna say this and sit down, he don't brag on himself enough. And because he don't, he's just doing the work, but he's not telling you how he's fighting home to bring home the money. And a lot of federal dollars that comes to our community. Check your municipalities for those ARPA funds. My name is Juanita Brent. I just happen to be a state representative, the vice chair of the Democratic Party, and a lot of other titles. But I thank you so much for organizing this, Meredith.
We're going to start moving into our county seats. Judge Boyle.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Judge Mary Jane Boyle of the 8th District Court of Appeals. I've been before you many times. I was a trial court judge for 10 years, and I'm in my 18th year on the 8th District Court of Appeals. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was just sworn in as the Chief Justice of the Ohio Appellate Judges Association. And thank you. And what I like to spend my time on, other than being on the bench, is educating the judges and the lawyers and the people about the law. An appellate court, if you don't know, is what's called the errors correcting court. We review all the cases from all the courts in the county. We're a single county appellate court. So I take that job very seriously, and I appreciate your past support and hope for your future support. I am running this year, and again, I'm Judge Mary J. Boyle. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to bring up my leader. He should know who that is. On the Cuyahoga County Council, Council President Pernell Jones, followed by Michael Hauser and Robert Schlepper? Schlepper. Did I say that right? Okay, almost. Council President.
Good evening, everyone. Again, I am Pernell Jones, Jr., County Council President of Cuyahoga County, and Councilwoman Meredith Turner's colleague. All right. So I've served for 14 years on County Council, and the last 4 years as Council President. I'm the owner of the Pernell Jones and Sons Funeral Home. We have served this community for 50 years, and to be honest, I thought that's all I would ever do until the opportunity came to run for elected office. I've served for, again, 14 years, and I have focused on things that I have seen as a funeral director. I buried too many individuals for a variety of reasons of why they passed. Infant mortality. I've sat with many young ladies who were many times single moms, could always get a check from the county because the individual might be locked in the cycle of poverty. So infant mortality is real. There's a face to it. It's our community. It's something I've worked to battle. I buried too many children who were victims of gun violence. I go through the death certificate information and no one ever finishes high school. So I fought for closing the Achievement Gap Initiative, where I put money into local high schools simply to mentor our children, have a class dedicated for them where we pull them out and help them to graduate, to stay in school from 9th through 12th. It has been working phenomenally. I expected to have a graduation class starting from 9th to 12th grade, 4 years, and I had a graduation class after 3 years. And the reason was we targeted the at-risk youth, and they had failed in earlier grade, whether it was 3rd through 8th, but when we engaged them, we actually helped them recover their proper school credit, and they graduated on time. That was phenomenal. The city of Maple Heights, there were 33 children who graduated on time. I could go through many of the school systems that we are part of. Warrensville Heights, who went from a graduation rate of 67% to 96% over the course of 10 years. So it is working. I have come to the point where I've said this is what it takes. From the janitor to the principal, if they've done their work, closing the gap simply brings that mentoring and get everybody to cross the line. So that's what we're working on. But again, with all these things that we are doing locally, myself, every elected official that you've seen right now, there's one election that is so critical, and as we know, it is the presidential election. We cannot lose this presidency because it sets the course of the direction of this country. I remember hearing Barack Obama back in 2008 say, "We the people, in order to form a more perfect union." Now, we all learned this in school, memorized it and said it, but he made it alive for me when he said it. He said, we're supposed to be a more perfect union. It's not perfect now, but we're supposed to work towards it. It's been described as a melting pot, which is fine. I get it, the unity illustration. But here what I think is a deeper and better illustration. We're more like a pot of vegetable stew. You know, we're all in it, but you don't have to be melted down. You don't have to be identical to be unified. You can be yourself, and we should all be in there together, and it's palatable. But here's the problem and the challenge. There are things in there that need to be taken out to keep it palatable. That's racism. We got to tease that out of there. We got to tease out the racism. We have to tease out the sexism. And we have to tease out the classism. The classism says the haves can't have everything, and the have-nots can't leave everybody else with nothing. But if we work towards those things, because we see them, and we're seeing them in this election, every last one of them. If I go back to racism, and then I'm going to take my seat, but I'll go back to having visited the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., that new facility. And there was a booth that described, that showed the Ku Klux Klan, the birth of it. Said it was 1865. Now, I just finished passing legislation with our colleague where we made 1865, June 19th, when slavery was ended, the end of it. We just passed that not too long ago. And to see that the dates were the same, I said, wow, the Klan didn't start until we were free, didn't need one before. Were you going to steal people's personal property and burn them, lynch them? No, you weren't going to do that. It started there to stop our advancement. We are watching the South rise again. That covers everything. The sexism, the classism, the racism, the desire to change this country to a side that lost. It doesn't care about the democracy. That's what we are facing right now. So with that, knowing the reality of what's going on, and it's hard for people to grasp that or to accept it, but it's the reality of what's going on. And when you do, it all makes sense, and how hard we have to fight to keep this country on the right course. And again, I'll take my seat, but what we have to do is get out and do something. I said I was going to take my seat, didn't I? All right. I'm going to do it, though. I mean, I'm going to do it. But here's the last thing. Let's get out and do something. Let's get out and do something. And what that is not registering people to vote. That's over. Don't have to register. You have to go out and help someone else to vote. That means knocking on a door. Call Juanita. She'll get you plugged into a canvas. It's fun, actually, when you start knocking on doors and start meeting people. Knock on those doors. Turn out that vote. Those polls that you see of 47 to 48, doesn't matter who won, who was leading, but it doesn't add up to 100%. And that's because they're not counting you. They're not counting those who don't vote all the time. So do that. Come on out and do something. And support this guy right here, Michael Hauser. He's going to be on council with us.
Good afternoon. Before I get started, I want to acknowledge Reverend Matthews. My family actually grew up in Mount Sinai, so this place means a lot to me. My grandfather actually married Reverend Matthews and Lady Matthews, so Mount Sinai always has a special place in my heart. A little bit about me. I am Michael J. Hauser. I'm running to be the next county councilman for District 10. District 10 is the most diverse district in Cuyahoga County. We have East Cleveland, Cleveland Heights, University Heights, Bradnaugh, Ward 8 and Ward 10. About me, this will be my second time serving on council. My first time, I'm proud to be an original sponsor of LGBTQ legislation. I led our faith-based infant mortality initiative, as well as created a Your Voice Matter Youth Summit that really encouraged our young people to get involved in the political process. Going back to council, I'm excited. I would like to create a gun violence prevention department. So at the county, we make sure we do our part to address this crisis. I want to make sure we have humane living conditions in our county jails. I think reentry programming is great, but we have to have humane living conditions in our county jail. Lastly, I think the county, we're real big on stories that are in the media. I think we have to fix our county services. No one should be waiting on hold for hours to receive their benefits, their food stamps, their basic needs. And so as councilman, I plan to address that. In closing, I am the youngest person to have ever served on county council. I look forward to bringing more young people involved in our conversation because it's going to take all of us. Again, Michael Hauser for District 10. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Robert Schlepper. I am the candidate for Cuyahoga County Council for District 6. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me, Councilwoman Meredith Turner. I'm very excited to be here. This is going to sound silly, but there are some rooms you just feel comfortable in, and I feel like this is one of them. I am a first-generation college student. I'm a sixth-generation Ohioan. I grew up down in Portage County. My grandfather was born and raised in Cleveland. So was my father. Grew up off of Fleet Avenue. Steel workers through and through. I grew up in a union household. My mother did in-home health care. She grew up in Kent, Ohio. My father was a diesel mechanic for about 40 years. My grandfather did service work for the diocese. I remember when I graduated from John Carroll with my master's degree, my grandfather had been a service director for the diocese and had worked at John Carroll, and he said, I never would have believed that my grandson could be graduating from this institution. Education is near and dear to my heart. I am on the school board in Chagrin Falls over on the east side. I've been an educator most of my career. I've been a high school teacher. I've been a high school principal. And then after I got my doctoral degree, I worked in the higher education environment for a number of years. Mostly in first-gen work. I've worked with TRIO and a number of other programs, always in urban spaces, always in state institutions, Cleveland State, the University of Akron. I moved to Denver, Colorado in 2016. This is after I had been a city councilman in Chagrin Falls. At the time when I was elected to that office, I was the youngest person to ever hold a seat. I was also the first openly LGBT individual to hold a seat. I grew up in a multiracial household. My mother is Puerto Rican, my dad is white. I know I look white, but I tell everybody the thing I got from the Puerto Rican side is I can cook, I like to dance, and I have a big butt. So, I think I can say that in church, right? Okay, cool. So here's the deal. I moved to Denver, Colorado because I had a hard time finding a job in Northeastern Ohio. Cleveland's tough. It's an underdog as a city, and economically, we have had a black eye that we have not recovered from really since steel left in the 70s. We're coming back now, but my whole life there's always been this narrative, we're gonna have a renaissance, we're gonna have a renaissance. I think it's happening right now. I really do believe that in my heart. But I moved to Denver, Colorado in 2016 for work because I was having a hard time. I was appointed by the mayor, the second African-American mayor of Denver, to sit on the Crime Prevention and Control Commission as well as the LGBT Commission, and I was the liaison for Denver Public Schools. When I ran for school board upon moving back to Chagrin Falls and to Cleveland in 2020, I was running during COVID. We had book banners, anti-vax, anti-mask, anti-everything. To this day, I do not let my 5-year-old daughter check the mail without one of us there because I don't know that somebody hasn't put a pipe bomb in my mailbox, right? When you're openly gay, you have to fight from the beginning, and I know everybody in this room understands what it means to fight, to be the only one in the room, right? With respect, I know we shouldn't talk about our opponents, but I'm going to touch briefly on it. My opponent has been in the seat for 14 years, and the only thing that he is known for is trying to overturn a plastic bag ban. So instead of leveraging communities that need help, why don't we actually do the work? My campaign has knocked on 22,000 doors. This is my 152nd event. I've been in 4 parades. We're doing the actual work. I am here tonight. I know that my district does not encompass this community, but if I am blessed enough to have a seat on county council, I will represent the entire county. So again, my name is Dr. Robert Schlepper. Thank you so much for having me tonight. All the love. God bless.
Mr. Jeremy Johnson, issue 55.
Woohoo! Thank you all for having me, and special thanks to Councilwoman Meredith Turner for bringing us together today. Yes, I have a very singular message to you, and that is to vote yes on issue 55. Some 20 years ago, Cuyahoga voters felt that it was really important that our arts and culture nonprofit institutions would be supported by a small tax on cigarettes. So this yes that we're asking you to vote for would cost us 3.5 cents per cigarette. But I'm telling you, that will deliver $160 million over 10 years to our nonprofit institution system, 400 nonprofit institutions. When I was a kid, I loved going to Karamu House as a kid. Today, I see Japo dance performing across our city. I see the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival really shining a light on films. We have parents of artists in this room. We have those who know that the arts are about 8,000 jobs. We have our county council, which actually tribute to our council president, Pernell Jones, and his council members who passed the vote so we could put this on the ballot. This didn't just happen by accident. It was 2 years in the making to get this on the ballot. We need these jobs. We need arts and culture for our children. A lot of talk about quality of life, keeping our kids out of trouble, education. It all comes together. So when you go into that ballot, start at the top, make your way down, and the very last thing you're going to vote for, the very last, turn it over. What is that song? Give it, it shall be given to you. That's right. Press down, shaken together. Well, go all the way to issue 55. Vote yes on issue 55. We have signs. Please do not leave without getting a sign for your yard. Yes, Rhonda Brown is there from our city of Cleveland. Please vote yes on 55. Get a sign. Thank you all for having me. My name is Jeremy Johnson with Assembly for Arts, Assembly for Action. My pleasure to be here.
We have Roger Sonnenberg representing Joan Sonnenberg.
Thank you very much, Councilman Meredith Turner, for inviting us. And I'll tell you, I'm really uplifted by what I've heard here tonight from all the candidates. And the quality of the candidates and the importance of their message, I think, cannot be overstated. I'm not Joan Sonnenberg. When Meredith calls, we come. But unfortunately, Joan had 2 other commitments, so I didn't dress for the occasion. Obviously, we're coming from a parade today. But I come here before you as a proud father and a proud husband. My son Eric Sonnenberg is running for the State House in House District 21, and I'm publicly making a request from State Representative Brent and State Representative Upchurch that you mentor my son for the next years to come. Because with your guidance, I think he'll do a great job. So I look forward to watching that. But I'm here to talk about my wife, Joan Sonnenberg. Joan's been a judge in Common Pleas for 20 years. She's served 2 years on Cleveland Municipal Court. You know her. She's been in this church many times with her expungement forums, with her fugitive safe surrenders, with her American Can. She is active in the community. She has been for the last 20 years. And in addition to her responsibilities as one of the other 34 judges, she also is the judge who oversees Human Trafficking Court, Recovery Court here in town, which does a wonderful job of reclaiming the lives of women who are victims of sex trafficking. And if you ever get an opportunity to go down to her court and watch it, she saves lives. And what she saw when she was dealing with these women who were victims of sex trafficking, who suffer from dual diagnosis of trauma and substance abuse disorder, that once they got their lives back together, they still had a number of problems. They had a justice gap. They had eviction issues, they had child custody issues, they had BMV issues, and that what she was seeing is 85% of the women who were opioid addicted had unplanned pregnancies, and they were losing her children. So she saw this and she stepped up and she started what's become to be known as the Pro Bono Collaborative. And once a month, people know they can, in the community, if you show up in room 15D, usually on the last Friday of the month, this past Friday she had 50 clients in there and 30 volunteer lawyers from the best law firms here in town that she coupled with people who have problems. She partners with the legal aid, and as a result of this, the Nord Family Foundation saw what she was doing and gave her a grant, so she now has a full-time assistant to help her. So she serves the community, and I wish she was here to serve you with her message. But I'm asking you to consider voting for her. This is her last election. This is her 7th election. But the community needs her, and I would respectfully request you consider voting for her. Thank you very much.
Mr. Darrell Denny.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Turner. Greetings, everybody. My name is Darrell Denny. I am a candidate for judge in the Court of Common Pleas of Cuyahoga County. I'm also a proud member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Rudy Roo. I'm running to be your next judge in the Court of Common Pleas, ladies and gentlemen. I've been a practicing attorney for 27 years. I'm currently in the office of the Cuyahoga County Public Defender. I've only been in that position for 3 years of my 27 years, but it's that position that has made me see what our community needs from our court. My cases are more than just clients. My clients are more than just cases. People have some real needs for services in our community, and a lot of our judges just tend to write these people off. Not all, but a lot write these people off without even considering the things that they go through in their lives on a daily basis. A lot of things they do are not very serious. And trust me, people are doing some bad things in our community, and there are punishments for them as well. But there are so many of us, or so many of my clients, that can use other services that are available to them through our courts. If some of our judges just take more time to think about what's really going on in their lives versus just sending them to prison because they can. And so I want to be the change I want to see. I want to be a part of the solution, and I want to be your next judge in the Court of Common Pleas. Thank you very much for your time.
Mr. Antonio Nicholson.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Councilwoman Meredith Turner, for giving me this opportunity to have the platform to address you. My name is Antonio Nicholson, and I'm running for judge of the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. I'm running for judge because I'm qualified to do so. I have over 10 years of direct trial experience. I tried everything from minor misdemeanor traffic cases to felonies of the first and second degree. A little bit about myself. I got my first start from Judge Larry Jones. Well, let me back up. I graduated from Solon High School, wrestled for Solon High School, was the captain of the Solon High School wrestling team. Went to Cleveland State University for undergrad. I wrestled at Cleveland State University as well as a collegiate Division I wrestler. I was cutting 17 pounds a week to make my weight to keep my scholarship, okay? Got my first start by Judge Larry Jones. He gave me an internship at the Court of Appeals when I was in law school. He was a critical part in me being hired at the Cuyahoga County Public Defender's Office. At the Public Defender's Office, I represented people who could not afford counsel. Because just because you can't afford counsel doesn't mean you shouldn't be entitled to great counsel, and I stand on that. I also worked for the Greater Cleveland Drug Court. I volunteered as the lead attorney in the drug court, representing people who are charged with crimes based on their substance abuse addictions and, quite frankly, sometimes mental health issues. I assisted them in getting clean, and in some cases, on my own, I helped mothers and fathers get their children back. I am experienced. I've been in the municipal court, the county courts, the appellate courts, and federal courts all over the state of Ohio, okay? Community. I've been a wrestling coach for over 20 years. I coach kids from 4 years old to high school. My family's also been in this community. My dad is continuing a practicing general surgeon, laparoscopic. Been doing it for 30 years, private practice. He's been taking care of this community for decades at St. Vincent Charity Hospital. My older brother, general surgeon, laparoscopic. Been taking care of this community too. He's a hospital director in Bethesda, Maryland. My twin brother, also a former public defender, represented our juveniles in the juvenile drug court program. We have been in this community, okay? Nobody in my race has seen 28 people in jail on one Saturday. Nobody. Nobody in my race got 10 years of direct trial experience. Aggravated murder, rape, felonious assault, shooting cases, custody cases, dog cases, foreclosure cases. I've helped people save their homes. So when you go to those ballots in November, a vote for Nicholson is a vote for experience. A vote for Nicholson is a vote for equality. When you vote for me, you're voting for somebody not just knows the system, but that's in the system every single day. So I challenge you, do the research on the candidates. And I promise you, please consider and remember Nicholson in November. Thank you.
Ms. Joy Kennedy.
I know it's getting late and we are all tired. I have been running for almost 2 years and we have 21 days, y'all. 21 days to the deadline. Whew. Thank you for having this event. I am proud to be here. I am a proud member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. 31 years. 31 years as a member of this organization, and now it is my turn to become a judge. I am a magistrate now at the Cleveland Municipal Court. I hear your civil and your criminal cases within the city of Cleveland. But now I'm running countywide because I would like to take my talents upstairs. And just a brief bit of history, 174 years. In 174 years, there have been 13 African Americans elected to the general division of our Common Pleas Court. And you may ask yourself, why? I tell you we're qualified. I tell you we are able. But I tell you that there are always obstacles put in place to prevent people like you and me from excelling. But this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do the work. We've been doing the work, and we are going to be members of the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas bench with your support. Born and raised right here in Cleveland, Ohio, I am a graduate of Shaw High School. I went to Hampton University for my undergraduate degree, Virginia Commonwealth University for a master's in social work, and I came right back here to Cleveland to complete my law degree at Cleveland State. I am a believer of mental health. I've been a mental health therapist for many, many years, and I see the trauma that is caused, but I don't always see a fix. And so as a therapist, I had the opportunity to work with many people over the years, providing individual, group, marital counseling, all types of counseling, trying to change the narrative. And so if elected to the seat that I'm running for, mental health will be in the forefront. I'm running to replace Judge Shirley Strickland Saffold. Judge Saffold is an African-American woman who has been a judge for 37 years in Cuyahoga County. Those are some huge shoes to fill. But what I tell you is that we have to train up our own, we have to mentor our own, we have to prepare our own. And I believe that I have been prepared to take that seat. I worked with the Cuyahoga County Public Defender's Office for 17 years. I've handled your lower level misdemeanors all the way up to your death penalty cases. I have been certified to handle death penalty cases. I have been certified to handle cases on our mental health docket. I've worked with our Veterans Court. I worked with our drug court. I have the experience that is needed. And so all you need to do is go to that ballot box and find the name of Joy Kennedy. It'll be at the bottom because that's where the judges are. But when you go to vote, I want you to remember my name. My name is Joy Kennedy. I am Joy Kennedy. And when you go to vote, look for Joy Kennedy. Thank you.
Joy is on the ballot in 2024. Judge Lauren C. Moore.
Good evening, everyone, especially my D9 family. Proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you for convening this. I greet you this evening as a judge of Cleveland Municipal Court for 21 years and as a candidate for Common Pleas Court. I started my judicial career in 2004, and since that time I presided over the domestic violence docket, the specialized mental health docket. I currently preside over the Larry Jones drug court docket. For about the last 10 years, it's one of the most gratifying things of the job. I was a former grand jury prosecutor for Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. I was your former chief city prosecutor for the city of Cleveland. I was a public defender. I was a Legal Aid Society lawyer. I was a former staff attorney at the Legal Aid Society Civil Division. I'm an alumnus of School of Law, Case Western Reserve, and Spelman College. I'm a former trustee and executive board member of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association and a founding member of the Ohio Black Judges Association. I've done hundreds of cases, lots of jury trials, married lots of people. As a matter of fact, I did my last marriage on Friday, same day as I did a big jury trial. Since I'm unopposed, I'm just going to say I'm going to be at the Common Pleas Court, and so that's why I said that was my last marriage. And I loved doing marriages. It's one of the hallmarks of Cleveland Mini Court, the things that we do in Cleveland Mini Court. So I'm saying this to say I'm very prepared, and I look forward to all the challenges at Common Pleas Court. I thank you for listening, and I appreciate your support.
Tim Hess.
Evening, everyone. How y'all doing? So, two very strong, amazing women to follow. Thank God I'm not running against either one of them. You know, especially Joy and I have Joy Kennedy and I have a very similar experience. I am Tim Hess. I'm running for judge of the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. It is an open seat. And I've been practicing for 23 years, and of those 23 years has mostly been in my own private practice. I've represented pretty much everybody in all walks of life in our community. Cleveland, other counties, all the way from Cincinnati to Youngstown, Toledo to Zanesville. One of the things that Joy had touched on, which I also want to put to the forefront, is our mental health in our court system. 1 in 3 inmates in our jails have some sort of mental health issue. And our jails should not be mental health facilities. When you have 1 in 3 persons with mental health issues, 93% of our state-run mental health facilities are taken up by inmates who are ordered to go there from the court. We can do better. Right now, I believe we have about 5 judges that are on the mental health docket. We should have more. We have 34 judges I think we should at least have half of those judges who deal with mental health cases. There's a lot of other things that can be done rather than prison. It's not always the answer. I want to thank Meredith for inviting me here. I want to thank the Divine Nine for having this, and also the NAACP, for which this standard issue white guy is a card-carrying member. How many of y'all in here have, raise the hands of people who come to you to say, hey, have you researched this candidate, or who should I vote for? How many? Quite a few. Quite a few. As an attorney, I get it a lot, whether it's family members, friends, emails, who are the good candidates? The important part, and the reason I ask that is you're the ambassadors to the community. A lot of the first group of people that came up talked about we got to vote, and we do have to vote. When you get that slate card or you get that ballot, your sample ballot, research your candidates. Don't vote on a name. Don't leave out the candidate. Get your ballot. Go online. It's amazing how many people can sit there and watch a plethora of TikTok videos, but they can't go online and research candidates. Research your candidates. And then inform the other people that come to you and ask. Now, I don't have an Irish name. I didn't put an O in front of Hess. But I have the experience. I've been practicing for 23 years. I've been a magistrate in Garfield Heights Municipal Court for 2. I've seen all kinds of cases, and like I said, I've represented all walks of life. I've represented people who were injured in our jail that shouldn't have been, people who've been killed in our jail and shouldn't have been. I'm endorsed by the Cleveland Plain Dealer. I'm endorsed by the Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association. And I think if you look down the ballot, there's no D or R next to my name. Go with the person who has experience and say yes to Hess on November 9th. Say yes to Hess. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're almost there. Kira, I'm going to give you the final word. Are there any other candidates in the room? I'm going to bring up Donna Walker Brown at this time. Any other candidates here? Okay, Kira, I'm going to give you the final word, and we're going to have Ms. Donna come on up. She's going to have the final word. Yeah. Donna Walker Brown.
I want to thank everybody for just being here to hear us candidates. But Meredith, I want to give you a special thanks because a lot of times we as Republicans, we are overlooked and we're shunned. So I thank you for giving the community a chance to see both the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate. I really do. First of all, I have been the voice for the voiceless for over 20 years. I have brought 71 million to this district, the state of Ohio, through activism, through sleeping on the grounds, through protesting. I'm asking for your vote because they say this is the year of the black woman. Well, in case you didn't get a good look at me, I'm a God-made black woman. Okay? I believe I can do a better job than my opponent because I am a part of the party that is running the state. If all the Democrats decide to have the blue flu, if you elect me, we still gonna run the state because we 67 strong. Plus we're part of the supermajority. If you're tired of your reflection of your district, and you're not seeing where there's hope left, then you have another choice. It's Donna Walker Brown, and God bless you.
Ms. Kira Krivosh.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman Meredith Turner, who is also a mentor of mine. I have the last word tonight. That's scary. Okay. So for those who do not know me, sorry, I'm a walker and a talker, so I feel like I need this mic to move with me. I am Kira Krivash, and I am running to be your next Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas judge. So let's go. Woo. And luckily, I am not running against any of the individuals who spoke earlier. Just so you're aware, I am a magistrate by day and a nonprofit leader by night, and I am three things: committed, dedicated, and experienced. I'm committed to fairness and justice, and I do that through the cases that I preside over every day as a magistrate. Additionally, I'm a former substitute teacher. Yeah, I love that. Let's go. I'm also the daughter of former teachers. So I come from a union household, so I teach from the bench. I explain to people what the law is, how it's being applied, and that helps build trust within our communities. Additionally, I do additional outreach into our legal communities, and I teach CLEs. I have taught or moderated 20 of those. Additionally, I'm also a published author. I have written 11 publications. And as I've mentioned, I'm also dedicated. I'm dedicated to the job. I'm there every day, presiding over cases, working hard for the hundreds of cases that I hear every year as a magistrate. And I'm dedicated to the communities. That's what sets me apart. I'm a nonprofit leader. I serve on 4 board of directors, and I have been a nonprofit leader in leadership positions for over a decade. And you know what that does? That helps translate to the work that I do every day as a magistrate. I help connect people that come before me with resources they need and deserve. I don't have a specialized docket. I have to turn the cases that come before me into a holistic approach to help the individuals that they are either, 1, they don't have to come back before me, or 2, if they do, they are in a much better position. I serve on the board of directors for Open Doors Academy, which is an organization that serves our communities, helps our children with free after-school activities. Additionally, I also started a nonprofit. I took action during COVID when there were individuals who needed help. Me and State Senator Nikki Antonio started a nonprofit called the Giving Tree Project. And that helped individuals in Cleveland, East Cleveland, Lakewood, and Rocky River. And we still help in East Cleveland as well, including the children there. I'm also experienced. I have nearly 15 years of legal experience, 3.5 being judicial experience as a magistrate. I've handled cases on every court level, municipal, county, and federal. I'm also a wife and a mom. My kids have been at this church and in many different places, so we got a little grace tonight because I got a babysitter, so woo! I have dedicated my life to serving our communities and bettering our legal communities. So I would appreciate your support. I am Kira Krivash. Please remember me on your ballot when you vote all the way down. I have some yard signs over here. You may have seen our yard signs out in the county. We've received a lot of support because of the community work that I've done. So thank you so much to the Divine Nine, Councilwoman Meredith Turner, and all the organizations that helped make tonight possible. I am glad to be your final speaker this evening. Thank you.
All right, we got through our agenda tonight. Could all the social action chairs come up and join me? Okay, all the people in the group text. And I especially want to thank everybody, especially the focus group, those that I'll call or text and ask, what do you think about this? And then I get the green light and we just start moving. So I hate to hear my name called. Somebody just got to organize folks. But I want to thank everybody here for helping to make this evening possible. Let's give them a round of applause. We here? Everybody here? Okay. To all of our leaders, can you now come up for a photo? All our Basilisk presidents, poll marks, if you're still here, can you come up and join us for a photograph? Without your support, we would not be able to do this. So let's give it up for all of our leaders. And so hopefully most of you have voted. If you have not, you got your marching orders. Again, our community looks to us for guidance. Make sure that you continue over these next 21 days to motivate folks, help them be clear about what we're voting for. We heard from issue 55, arts and culture tonight. We heard from issue 1, we need to end gerrymandering. And we heard from our schools, and the future of Cleveland is on the line. So make sure that you stay engaged. We need everybody to do just a little bit more, and I guarantee you on November 6th, it will all be worth it. So thank you for your time this evening. You can find this program on Mount Sinai Friendship United Church's Facebook page, so please share it, as we got that correspondence from the young lady who was thankful. Not everyone can come into the room with us, so we want to make sure that we are sharing our programs for folks so they can get this important information. And again, it's on YouTube as well. So we continue to put the unity in community, so let's go do something. Repeat that, Mother. Mount Sinai Friendship United. Okay? All right, y'all. Good night.